Welcome back to A Healthy You. Can the functionality of the body affect our health as well as our weight? And if it is such an obvious answer, why don't we do something to help our bodies function better? With me to help you understand the liver cause and effect is Dr. Bruce Bond. Hi, Dr. Bond. Thank you for being here today.
Morning.
So, first of all, where's the liver? I don't think many people know.
Right here, lower part of your rib
So
cage.
it's the right-hand side,
Yes,
lower
part of
liver.
your ribs. Yeah.
And it shares a common bile duct, does it not?
Yes.
With the gallbladder.
Yes.
So you have the liver and the gallbladder together. Can you tell me, why is the liver so important?
The liver is so important because if you want to have a healthy life, you need a healthy liver.
Why?
Because the liver, anything foreign that we bring into the body, which is, any of the industrialized byproducts that some people call junk food, all those foreign chemicals, anything we put on the body that doesn't belong in there, the liver is the primary filter that should make it non-toxic, so we either get it out of the body.
So basically, the liver is the seat of detoxing.
Yes.
So when all these people are doing their detoxes, what they're really doing is cleaning the liver?
No, they're actually, what's happening is they're feeding the liver what it needs. So when the toxins come out of the tissues, like out of the fat cells, the liver can make them non-toxic, and it either goes out our urine or out our stool. So by eating the right foods, we're actually supporting the function of the liver. So when these things come into the liver can get rid of it. Because if the liver doesn't neutralize the toxins, the liver doesn't hold on to them, and it actually gets stored in our butt, in our bellies.
Oh, wait a minute. So when you can't get rid of toxins because your liver is full, basically, or not functioning well, it gets stored in fat cells? Is that what you're telling me
Yes.
when you say your butt?
In your butt. The government did a study from 1970 to 1987, and they found in every surgical specimen, in every cadaver, that the fat cells were loaded with toxins. And the conclusion is really saying that the liver's not doing its job. So we've got a double whammy going on in America. You've got an obesity epidemic, and you've got toxic people. So really, they're really toxic waste dumps walking around.
So the liver is basically your filter to clean the body. It gets all clogged up, all these toxins in it, because we have environmental factors, we have air pollution, water pollution, we have heavy metals in our fish, we have all this stuff going on, and that poor little old liver is trying to do this job all by its lonesome. That's what you're telling me.
And it's really struggling today because people are making the wrong choices, what they're putting into the body. They're not eating foods that typically support the liver, like things like kale and Brussels sprouts, red beets. Most Americans, you mention beets or kale, and they get like a deer in the headlights type look.
A glazed look on their face. Actually, kale has quite a bit of an upsurge right now. A lot of people are eating it. It's also heart healthy.
Well, I tell people, food is actually your health insurance, because what you eat today is going to ensure your health for years to come.
But really what you're saying here is that if your liver is toxic and it's not cleansed, it can actually directly relate to how big your butt is or how wide your waist is.
Well, in part, because if you put more food in the body than it needs, more fuel, your liver is the organ that turns it to fat. And then that fat ends up all the places we don't want. So the liver has a lot of roles in that.
Well, I'm hearing two big ones.
Yes.
It's a filter to clean the body, and it converts to fat, which should be converting to good fat so that we could use it as energy. Instead, what it's doing is it's taking that fat, if you're eating too much food, and converting it to a bigger butt, a bigger waist.
Exactly. That's why people who are overweight have what's called, even if you're 10 pounds overweight, you have a fatty liver. It's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It used to be years ago people who only drank had fatty livers. But now anybody who's at least 10 pounds overweight has a fatty liver. And fat cells are now also, they're considered to be an organ, and they produce hormones. So that's why when you become overweight, especially for women, one of the things fat cells do is they take what's something your ovaries produce and your adrenals produce. The technical hormone is an androstenedione, and it turns it to estrone. So women who are overweight are actually estrogen dominant. So it's a vicious cycle that kind of keeps going.
That is incredible. So you're telling me that this organ is helping the body to store hormones because it's creating more fat. So is that
right? The liver turns it to fat, and when we gain weight, we actually make more fat cell, and
which
fat
makes
cells
more hormones.
Which fat cells are now an organ, so we're making more estrogen. And men too. Men have a problem because fat cells convert testosterone to estradiol. So you've got men now who are estrogen dominant, and breast cancers are going up in America. We are living longer today, but we're living longer in ill health, and people don't understand that. It's not
Say
about the
that one
number.
more time.
We
We're
are living longer
today,
but
we're
living longer in ill
health.
But that's a choice.
But there's ways to get around that, and that's what this show is about.
Yes.
Thank you so much for explaining that, Doctor, because my next